Hi, everyone. We're both out and about today. Uh, I'm basically moving day. I think David, what you got going over there, David?
I'm actually working on a rental property of mine, going through a couple of different things, and you know, that's the thing when you're investing money and you're taking risk and you're making moves, sometimes things go wrong, which is why more important than ever, it's always good to have good trusted advisors all around you as far as real estate, mortgage, contractors, all sorts of groups of people.
Yeah, I totally agree. So I want to start off with this crazy stat. Right now, we have a little less than 1,500 properties in San Diego County.
Woo!
15, a little under 1,500 properties. We sold over the last 3 months on average around 3,700 homes each month. So we're talking about less than 1,500. What that means? That means that we're talking about maybe a week and a half of inventory across the board. A week and a half of inventory across the board, which is crazy. So if you're out there right now, and you're like, "Oh, it's a holiday. Isn't the holiday supposed to slow things down?" Oh, maybe that's why you're thinking that maybe it's not slowing down as much as you're thinking that it should slow down.
If you're thinking that letter you sent to Santa about making offers that are lower are not being as respectful towards the current market, you're probably not going to, Santa's not going to deliver you good news, Vinny.
Yeah, I mean, there's still. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's still the ability if the property is not marketed right, shown right, things like that, where it can't go under, or people are getting a little greedy on their pricing. I mean, because I have seen a lot of these properties, especially these Zillow properties. You're seeing a lot of these are sitting for 150 days, 200 days. I mean, very long times, and so they priced it a little bit higher. So not across the board, because you got to remember that we talked about last week or on Monday that list to sold is still only about, I think it's like 101. So it's nothing drastic right now
That's not too
compared
bad.
to,
Not too
yeah.
bad.
So to where it was. So be
And
aware of the property. Yeah, good.
I was going to say, and that's for those of you out there who are looking at that, and Vinny says 101, that means they're basically selling 1% times the purchase price over. So if the house is 800,000, it's probably selling at 808. Just to keep the
Yeah,
math simple. I mean,
yeah.
because
So I mean,
I know sometimes the math gets very heavily jaded, and I'm going to share this with you. I recently had a client 2 days ago that did not want to come up in price. I'm sorry, $3,000 because she
well,
thought it
what
was
was the
unfair.
price? What was the
The
price?
price was 821,
Okay, so
and
you're talking
to
about
go up to
roughly that's about $15 more a month.
it was $15 more a month. Vinny, you are very good, my friend. And when I explained to her the difference and everything, she said, it's not fair. It's not right for the consumer. I'm being taken advantage of. And I said, unfortunately, there's no homes for sale and it's getting worse. And $3,000 a year from now, you will not care because we looked at the historical rate of return on that property. Historically,
Yeah.
that property had gone up 6% for the last 20 years,
Hmm.
except for last year. Going right now, year over year, that property was up 20%. And
Yeah.
then I showed her the appreciation projections again for next year, which I know, Vinny, me and you talk about this, and we always want to play the more conservative edge with the money. Is projected to go up 9%. So
The house will go up in
be
3K in 6 months. Oh well, I mean,
uh,
yeah, I mean, well,
actually it would have went up 3K in 1 month, like not even. And
when
that's
okay,
that's
no one has, and I have to preface this all the time because no one has a crystal ball, right? Yes, I do believe that it's going to go up by 3K in the current market, especially with the low inventory going on right now. It's hard to say the market's going to go down or be in the near future because we have such low inventory right now. So yes, that's true. I just want to be with the jump that we had of, let's say, 27,000 over the last year. I mean, because it's gone up. I mean, roughly across the board for something like 27, 26 now, right, over the last year. It's hard to think that's going to be what we're going to see over the next year. So there are probably going to be
I agree.
growth before we have enough inventory to offset everything. Rates go up, something like that. I mean, my thinking is we're going to start seeing adjustables. I mean, where people are going to rates are going to go up, and we'll start seeing adjustables. People saying, you know what, I want to buy this property. And then over time, then we'll start seeing the market basically really, really slow down, and then things like that happening, whatever.
Yeah.
So,
Vinny, you brought up a good point because this kind of tailwinds, not a good best choice, but it brings us into next week. The Fed is meeting, and I'm going to tell you when the inflation numbers came out today, which we can go into later on. I know we talk a lot about inflation. We don't want to bore people, but the inflation numbers were skyrocketing out of control. And next week when the Fed meets, I believe they're going to start tapering even more, and they're going to talk about possible rate hikes. And if they start doing tapering by even more than what they're doing now, like 15 billion, they're supposed to taper, they'll go to 30 billion, and then they go to a rate hike. You're going to watch a lot of people start scrambling to look at different mortgages and arms. And I'm not talking about the ones for hugging. I'm talking about looking for lower rates, because the other data that came out today, and I know a lot of people talk about, oh, there's a giant foreclosure wave coming. It's coming. Only 2.1% of homes had negative equity.
well, so talking about the foreclosures, since middle of last month to now, we've only had roughly around 90 properties in default. So not actually
Yeah.
at auction, anything like that, but in default. So we've only had roughly around 90. So again, if we're talking about roughly around 1,500 properties on the market, a week and a half of inventory, right? 90 properties would not make that dent that we need. We would need,
No.
I mean, probably about like 7,000 properties in default.
It's wow, that is terrible. That's terrible, Vinny. The other thing that was released is the average homeowner in San Diego has at least 31% equity in their property. The
Yeah,
average homeowner has 31%. Average.
all right. So how
That's
much
a lot.
does the inflation numbers affect real estate prices? It's a
Ooh,
1-for-1 or what?
no. So that's an interesting question. So I planned on doing this next week, and I want to do a video with Vinny about it. But the thing that you need to realize is inflation erodes the value of your currency, and it erodes the value of your purchasing power. And one of the best hedges against inflation is actually real estate, because it is a hard, tangible asset. If you start looking at the price of gold, you start looking at Bitcoin, you start looking at other assets you can buy, you do not have the same protection. It's not a one for one. Nothing is a one for one. Real estate is leveraged, and real estate is leveraged with inflation, because the thing that happens as prices keep going up, that actually makes rent prices go up, food prices go up, everything is going up. And so real estate is one of the best hedges for inflation. And I actually think if currently they pass the new bill, the Build Back Better, and you start putting all this money into the economy for all these multiple facets, you're going to see inflation actually get worse, and more people will look to hide their money in real estate. And also at the same time, it's like more people will increase their rents on their rental properties. So, inflation is going to erode a lot of value of the dollar, and it hurts poor people the worst. Poor people are lower income because it's too expensive, like the items, and they got to go somewhere. So I know it's a long answer, Manuel, but no, it's not a one for one. It's leveraged in real estate. Real estate is one of the best hedges against inflation.
The only thing that's 1-for-1 is our appreciation of Manuel asking these stellar questions on a weekly basis.
Wow.
Thank you guys, especially Manuel, for being here. Hope you guys have a fantastic weekend, and we will see you next Monday. Oh, we'll see some people next Monday. We know for sure we're going to see Manuel. He even gave a thumbs up. Look at that. Thumbs
I'm
up.
going to also give a huge shout out to Busy Bees Lock and Key for helping with some lockouts and with some people that were not helpful in a rental unit. So thank you, Busy Bee.
And if anyone wants a free hug, just give David a call at
Wow.
858
Wow, really?
7